asking for a yes vote on this bill today. This bill comes, it's actually been introduced for several years, so I'm glad we're finally getting it to the floor. It was one that the gentleman from the 19th predecessor actually had prime sponsored, and it came as a result of an employer in Southwest Washington who was going around and searching people's vehicles for personal items. Items that were no threat to the employer, no threat to any of the employees, no threat to the physical plant there, but they just objected to them being on their property. They were properly stowed in people's vehicles. They were out of sight. They were doing no harm, providing no threat to anyone whatsoever. And yet they were coming around and searching those vehicles. And I just think that's wrong. I don't think employers should be going around and searching. Now, if there is a concern that there might be theft, that an employee might be stealing from the company, this bill doesn't prevent them from going to law enforcement and having that vehicle searched. If they have reason to believe there's theft or there's criminal activity, or there's items in there that are illegal to possess, that's fine. They can still go and have law enforcement come and search those vehicles and have that taken care of. But to just go around and say, we don't like what you've got in your car, or we're concerned you might have something in your car that we don't like, I don't think is appropriate. And somebody comes maybe from Woodland and they go to work in Longview and they want to go do something in Castle Rock afterwards, and they need their sporting equipment to go do that. They don't want to have to run back home to Woodland and then go back up to Castle Rock. They just want to put it in their vehicle, and then when they get off work, then they can go directly. And so this bill just says that, if they're personal items, they're not doing any harm to anybody, they're perfectly legal, that an employer shouldn't be able to come and require you to open your car and allow them to search the vehicle. Now, some people think that maybe when an employee has that kind of relationship, that maybe you've entered into a contract, that maybe that employee has entered into a contract. And so there are going to be some no votes on my side, unfortunately, but I do understand some of the concerns that have been raised by members of my caucus, but I still think that this is it kind of parallels our constitutional rights. And our Constitution is to protect us from our government. This bill protects us from our employers. So I'm actually requesting a yes vote on this bill today.